Okay, you're live.
All right, today's Daf Nun Ches.
Very excited.
Says the Gemara, we're holding on the bottom Nun Zayin on the base, the last line. We'll just repeat what we learned yesterday. Omer Ravacha Bar Yaakov, Halacha, Treifa, Yerledes, Umishabachas. In other words, if you see that an animal conceived and is pregnant, it's not a raya that she's not a treifa, because it's possible for a treifa to conceive, and if you see that a treifa gets bigger and better and stronger, it's not a raya that she's not a treifa, because it's possible for a treifa to get stronger. Omar Meima.
Hey, you want to eat up?
Today's shir. What happened? Today's shir is sponsored by Mr. Links, Lili Nishmas Ezra Yisrael Ben Yitzchok Tzvi Halevi. And Shem should have an aliyah. Omer Ameir. What happened?
Okay, let's go. Honey beta treifa.
Omer Ameir. Honey beta treifa. So you have an animal that became a treifa. You have a bird that's a treifa. Now we learned in B'chayros, as we all remember, that a chicken has 21 eggs in it in 21 stages. Each egg is a day behind the other. So you have one complete egg with a shell, and right behind it an egg with almost a shell, etc., etc. There's 21 eggs going back. So this chicken with 21 eggs in it became a treifa. So what happens? Says the Gemara, Shichalo Kamo Asiro. Since we hold that Uber Yerech Imoy, so the eggs are as if they're part of the mother, and the mother became a treifa, so everything attached to the mother, including the eggs, are treif. What?
All 21.
All 21 besides the last one that's complete and detached from the mother's body, or whatever is detached. I'm not exactly sure how many are detached, but the ones that are detached with the shell, they're not treif.
It's still in the mother.
Still in the mother.
Is it fleishy?
That's the, well, you know the answer to that. You guys used to eat those eggs in England. In the Chullin, where?
With the shell, regularly, I wouldn't even know that it was.
No, with the shell is not treif, that's what I'm saying. With the shell is different. Amazing halacha. You have a mother chicken who's a treifa. She got, let's say, clawed by a cat. She's treif. Then her mate, her male mate, is 100% not treif, 100% kosher. So what halacha does the egg have? It's 50-50. 50-50 zev is a goyim mutter. The egg is not treif. So from there on out, all the eggs are kosher. Only the eggs that were within her, the 21 eggs or whatever, however many eggs they are, those are the eggs that are treif.
What's not treif?
From there on, after the treifa, she is a treif chicken walking around.
Yeah.
Then she conceived an egg,
Right.
or whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Since that egg is 50% from the male, it's a kosher egg. Zev is a
The
goyim mutter.
22nd egg is mutter?
22nd egg, 22nd egg is mutter.
Alright.
Now, obviously, this man Omar, we're holding right now that a treif chicken could conceive new eggs, because we have a shaila whether treif can conceive at all. So we're holding right now, treif can conceive. I don't know what the word is. How do you don't conceive an egg? Whatever it is. Okay. Created an egg. Produced an egg.
No, you don't produce eggs. But what's it called?
Fertilized.
Fertilizer, that's the word.
Fertilized egg. Okay, fine. So v'shavim bebeitzas treifish asur. We're going to see soon a machlokes that what the halacha by a behema that's a treifa gave birth. So over there we have machlokes Rebbe Eliezer and Rabbanan. Everybody agrees. Rebbe Eliezer and Rabbanan both hold that. This is a kasha. Sorry, I skipped. Eisir Rav Ashi Lameimar. So we have a kasha. V'shavim beitzas treifish asura, and the machlokes later on Rebbe Eliezer and Rabbanan. According to them, everybody agrees that an egg is treif. We just said an egg. Egg number 22, following egg number 21, is all kosher. So how come over here in the Bryce it says that the eggs are treif? And the Bryce explains, Shegodla be'isur. Godla means it was conceived, it was fertilized be'isur. Says the Gemara, tremendous nafkamina. There's two types of eggs. Hasam b'desafna me'ara. Similar to the eggs that we have today, where there's no male at all. It's just a female Says the Gemara, it was created from the heat of the ground. It was created on its own. So then what do we have? We have 100% treif mother. So 100% treif mother is a treif egg. The only heter that we have is that you have a 50% of the male who's not treif. It's an amazing chiddush. Like, I don't know what the case would be, but it's possible that you have a mother, a mamzer, or a surah, let's say, in humans. There's no such case, I don't think. But let's say, conceivably, you have a lady that does a big isser that her child will be a mamzer, but the husband, for instance, let's say, is a katan, there's no isser, so the child is 100% kosher. Why? Because it's 50-50. 50-50, there is a goy mutter. Big chiddush.
But that's only in the case that the mother is the psul, but the mice itself is the psul. When the mother does it for katan, the mice itself is the psul. If the mother was psul,
Very good, yeah.
so that's the...
Okay, so I'm saying there should be maybe a musug where I don't know what I said. There's no case. I don't know what the case is. You're right. There is no case like that. I can't think of a case. That's why. Yeah.
Because it's a combination. It's not just the sherry.
What? But you don't say zev zegorim in ingredients. You're saying that the cask helps the whiskey.
You do say that it's difficult to understand that a baby is 50-50 father and mother. Maybe
Right.
with DNA, but 90% of a baby is grown through the mother's.
Yeah, but it doesn't go by percentages. It doesn't go by 49-51.
We said 50.
No, zev zegorim means there's another cause. There's another element that created this egg. I don't know that it means 50-50. Okay, so zev zegorim. And we had those sugis before in Menachos as well. Ask the Gemara, why do we have to come on and say that this egg wasn't fertilized by a male? Say that the eggs that are asur are the original 21 eggs. That's the eggs that we said is completely kula alma asur. That would make sense because that's how we started the sugya. Shichla kama asira. The first batch of eggs is asur. From then on, it's mutter. And you ask me, Akasha, how come it says it's asur? Because it's the first batch. Says the Gemara, no, it doesn't fit into the words. In Kain Godla, the word Godla, the Brisa says, Mipnei she Godla be'isr. Godla means that it started from the beginning be'isr. Over here, it didn't start be'isr. It was already inside the mother. Then later on, Gomra mi'bayla. It finished off be'isr. After it already had eggs inside of her, she became a treifa and it's asr. Says the Gemara, Hodisnan v'lat treifa. Here's the machlokes. You have the offspring of a mother animal that is a treifa. What's the halacha? Machlokes, if you can bring it to the mizbeach. As the Gemara is going to say soon, the same machlokes applies to regular food, regular chullin, not just mizbeach. There's a chiddush in mizbeach. Rabbi Shua oimer yikrav. B'maykom ifligi. So over here, that's part of the sugya. How to learn? What's the machlokes? Very simple. Right now we're going to learn. B'shenitrifa v'lesoif ibro. So the question is, she became treif, and later on she conceived. What is that a case of? Zev zegorim, because she's completely treif. The male in this case is not treif, so it's 50-50. And the question is 50-50, zev zegorim, not 50-50. You know what? It's my problem. I said 50-50. Gemara doesn't say that. Zev zegorim. Two goyim, two partners over here. Is it asur or mutter? Rabbi Lezer saw as a goyim asur. Rabbi Shua saw as a goyim mutter. Says the Gemara, if that's the case, yachi. It's not yachi, but in general, the question is, adim miflagi legavoya lipagu lehadim. So why is the machlokes about the mizbeach? We have the same question. Can you bring this into regular shlachtois? Could the bedat shechtes or not? To tell us how strong Rabbi Shua means over here, the afilu legavoya nami shari. So let the machlokes be for regular human consumption. Say, whoa, even for regular people, forget about them. Regular people, it's also asur. Says the Gemara, a big yisoid in shas. Anybody, it's much easier to be machmer and say something is asur. To say that something is mutter, that takes a lot more koyach, and that's what we want to show. We rather point that out than point out a chumrah. And now the Gemara just wraps it all up, even though we just said it, and everybody agrees that an egg that came from a treifa mother is asur, how? If you hold zevizek goyim mutter, like Rabbi Yeshua, so then why does everybody agree that the egg is asur? It's zevizek goyim. So we have to say it's a case of not zevizek goyim. There's only one goyim here, which is the mother, and there was no fertilization. Memela, this egg is asur according to everybody.
We couldn't find a chicken to be a treifa when it comes to the shachos and they check it. It's been laying eggs for the last 3 months.
That's exactly why they said that Rabbi Herschel Schachter doesn't drink milk. Doesn't drink milk because maybe it came from a cow. And there's a lot of cows, 40%, whatever the percent, a very high percent.
Eggs.
So eggs is treifa. That's a very far thing. But cows, you open up a cow, 40% of the cows are treif. How many chickens get clawed by a cat? You know, they're protected. Nobody wants cats in there. Nobody wants the Metzias. What's the Metzias? How many chickens? Oh, you're saying, yeah, you're talking about stam, treifas of lungs and stuff like that. That should, yeah. I don't know what the numbers are.
Maybe he doesn't eat eggs either.
It's very, very few. The percentages,
Don't eat cakes, don't eat blitzes, don't eat eggs. He doesn't.
but it's a different percentage. It's a different percentage.
He just eats steak.
Different reasons for that.
He doesn't eat steak. That's what you're saying. He doesn't eat
No, milk he doesn't eat.
steak for sure. Steak is the mother. Rav Acha Sover, now we're going to take another look at the sugya, the same sugya we just
You
learned.
would because you could open up and check it. You could check.
What do you mean?
The egg itself.
Steak.
No.
You got extra. Steak is extra,
Milk
wasn't
you
it?
can't.
Oh, you mean
That's
if?
produced while the animal's still
Right.
alive.
Hello,
Here.
steaks
Yeah,
is-
you're
that's
right.
it.
Okay.
Finished. He's a flavor
Yes,
guy.
you're right. Very good. You're right. Says the Gemara. Rav Acha Sover lo kerav Acha bar Yaakov umasni lo le'da'amei kedamar. Until now, we were saying the shaila is zevzek goyim mutter, and now the Gemara is going to introduce the same everything we just learned with a different twist to it. Ravina lo yisav lo kerav Acha bar Yaakov. He holds that a treifa doesn't give birth. It's impossible for a treifa to give birth. So in other words, our sugya doesn't start. A chicken cannot have egg number 22 because it's a treifa. Once it's a treifa, it cannot produce more eggs, according to Rav Acha bar Yaakov. Umasen lo nameimar b'haylishno. So therefore, the whole machlokes is a little different. Omar meimar hanebeya, the suffix treifa. We're talking about a suffix treifa, not a real treifa. It's suffix whether there was, let's say, a wolf got in there, a cat clawed it. We don't know. We found something suspicious. We're not sure. Says the Gemara, the shichalo kamo mashinalu. So what do you do? Before we said that the first batch is usher. Now we're going to say no. The first batch is a suffix. Let's just leave it as is and see what happens. Ihadro v'toano sharion. If she could conceive more eggs, then all the eggs are kosher. Why? Because we have it's not a treifa according to him. V'lo yasiron. If not, they're also. Again, the same sugi that we had, but with the new twist in it. Everybody says that you're allowed to the egg that is produced from this chicken is also. The question is, how in the world does this chicken produce an egg? You just told me that a treif chicken cannot produce eggs, and it says, oh, but if a treif chicken has an egg, it's also Omarlei Hosam Dishicha lo kama. You have to say that's referring to. Now you can't answer what we answered before. That she conceived it on her own without a male. She can't conceive eggs. So we have to come on to what the Gemara wanted to say before. Ask the question, why don't we answer this? That what? We're talking about the first batch of eggs that were in her body before she became a treifa. But then we have to ask the question that the Gemara asked on that question before, on that teres before. In Cain, Godla, the Lashon doesn't fit. Godla means she started out like that. She didn't start, those 21 eggs that were in her body were not always treif. One day they became treif later on. So it's not Godla. Godla means they were created from day one like that. The better Russian would have been Gomra, that she finished off those eggs. Later on in her life, she became a treifa. Says the Gemara, you're right, and therefore, Tani Gomra, you have to switch the Lashon around. Elo hadasnan vlad treifa. So then what is the machlokes between Rebbe Lezer, Oimer lo yikrav legabe mizbeach? Rebbe Shua, Oimer yikrav. Where is the machlokes according to this? According to you, that a treifa cannot conceive. So where's the machlokes? Kishi ibra ulabasayf nitriva. You must say that she was pregnant before the treifa, because if she was after the treifa, she cannot become pregnant. So she conceived beforehand. Rebbe Lezer Savar Uber Yerechim Moihu. So here's another machlokes, different than what we were saying. Until now, we said the machlokes is Zev Zegar Mutter, Zev Zegar Maser. Over here, we're just going to go back to the old machlokes in Shas. Is the offspring, the vlad of a mother, considered like the mother or not? Part of the mother. Rebbe Lezer Savar Uber Yerechim. It's as if it's another organ of the mother. And Memela, it's treif. Rebbe Yeshua Savar Uber Lav Yerechim. It's floating around in her stomach, no connection to the mother. Maybe attached with an umbilical cord, but not part of the mother. And in Mela, just because the mother became treif, it doesn't make the uber treif. So then why is the machlokes about a mizbeach? The machlokes should just be in general. Any cow that's pregnant and became a treif, is uber yerechim or not, could we eat the baby? But the Yeshua, to say that he's matir even for the mizbeach, let's say a bigger chiddush and say that Rebbe Lezer is machmir, and it says also to eat this meat even for regular people. It's better for us to say the case of a mizbeach, where we're showing how much a person is matir.
Or not, it's a separate machlokas, so then it should be no difference in Torah between Mizbeach and...
There is no difference. There is no difference.
Right, so then it's not L'Revia Kocho, so one has nothing to do with the other. Nothing to do with that machlokas.
So don't even bring the machlokes according to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
We could apply it.
The whole thing of once it's out of the mother, how can we say...
Thanks for saving me. Yeah, what?
How can we say once it's out that it's still?
No. It happened when it was in. What happened after? Obviously, one day it's going to come out. But when the treifa happened, it was inside the mother. Did it become treif through that clawing or not?
Okay,
it's a different thing.
It's out, we're saying.
Once it's out, then you're trying to. No, once it's out, it still has the same treifa. You can't get rid of a treifa from before. Umoidim vaday bebeitzas treifa sha'asuro. So everybody agrees that an egg of a treifa is asur. How did it happen? It's talking about the eggs that she had in her before she became a treifa. My taima gufahi explains Rashi. Gufahi, or I don't know if it's Rashi, but the gufahi means it's part of the animal. Literally, one part of the animal. These eggs are attached to the ovaries of the chicken, and memela, it's part of the animal. So when it gets clawed, the eggs got clawed. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. So the Gemara says over here that the eggs are part of the chicken. So according to that, if a chicken goes and breaks somebody's kli, and we say that you pay from the chicken itself, would you pay from the eggs of the chicken as well? Would you use the eggs as payment? L'chayr, yes. And what about if a cow goes and damages? So Tosfos asked the question that in Baba Kama we say the exact opposite. The exact opposite. When it comes to the chicken, we say the eggs are not part of the mother. And over here we just said the eggs are part of the mother. And when it comes to a cow, let's say a shar that has a cow that has a vlad, we say, oh, you pay from the vlad. And over here we're saying that it's not part of. So Tosfos says an amazing thing, but again at the treifa at least. He says, because when it comes to treifa, this is not hezek. We're talking about treifa. And when it comes to treifa, we're talking about, is this animal going to survive or not? A cow's baby is going to survive. Just because the mother got scratched by a cat, it has no effect on the baby. It's just trying to. But when it comes to hezek, it was part of the hezek. The cow weighed more. It was a stronger hezek. So mela, you take from the baby. Mashenkin by chicken, he says that the shaila is, which egg was it? I don't know which egg. There's some eggs that are part of the mother attached to the ovaries. Some are already in the shell. They're not attached. So if you could prove it, fine. But if you can't prove it, I'm going to chaver over the raya. Zog the Gemara. Omer Avuna. Oh, where am I? V'hilchasa. B'zachar kol shnei masa chodesh. If you have no raya because a male can't get pregnant, and you don't know what to do, so you wait 12 months. Because we had yesterday the Shaila Machlokes, Rebbe says you wait 30 days. Another Mandama says wait 2 to 3 years. Rav Huna was the one that said wait 12 months. We said where did you get it from? And we said wait through all the seasons, see if it's cold or hot. Hilchasa, wait all seasons, 12 months. Bezachar, because you have no other choice. Benekeva, there's another way to to determine whether or not this animal is a treifa. How? Kol sheinu yoledes. If this nekeva became pregnant after her treifa, it's a raya that she's not a treifa because we paskin that treifa enu yoledes.
If it doesn't after 12 months,
If it does what?
after 12 months.
Oh, then no, 12 months for sure. You could even tell before 12 months by her being pregnant. But if something that lives 12 months, it's a right, they're not a treifa.
She doesn't give birth or she doesn't get pregnant?
Pregnant. We're talking about conceiving. Yes. As you see by this chicken here, no, we're not talking about yuledes. We're talking about conceiving. Because a treifa could give birth, even to eggs, like it's mashma rav suga, the chicken will still have eggs. It just can't produce new eggs. Yes, good question. When we're talking about yuledes, l'chayra, we're talking about conception, conceiving, not giving birth. A treifa will give birth. It'll just come out of her body if she's pregnant. You don't have to be strong to give birth. You have to be strong to conceive.
Maybe you need both.
That the Gemara is mashma that no. It's only conception. It says a lashon of yuledes, but it's not. That's not what it means. Omer Rav Huna. It says it everywhere. That's what I don't know if it's Mefurish or Rashi. I'm pretty sure I even saw it today. Ibro. It's talking about Ibro. You'll see. Look around. You'll see. Omer Rav Huna. Kol brio she'ein bo etzem einu miskayim shnei maseh chodesh. Any insect that doesn't have a bone, it can't live more than 12 months. 12. The max is 12 months.
Ant only lives 6 months.
The Gemara is going to go into different examples. What?
Doesn't
have a backbone. Fine.
It's only 6 months, and here he's saying 12 months.
Okay.
Papa.
Omer Papa Shema min Omer Rav Huna. Had Omer Shmuel kishu shitliya bi'ibe asura. Rabbi said amazing halacha. If somebody asks you, you came today just to learn this halacha, are you allowed to eat worms? Gary, you allowed to eat worms?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, very good. You're allowed to eat worms. How come we don't eat worms? How come we don't eat worms? The Torah said we don't eat worms.
Depends what kind of worms.
Oh, so this is the pasuk. You tell me what it says in the pasuk. How do you know you can't eat worms? There's a mefurish pasuk that says, "V'chol asher tzashoyretz al haaretz sheketzu lo yochel." Look what it says here, Rabbi said. Al haaretz.
Yeah.
It has to be on the ground. A worm that never made it to the ground is 100% mutter to eat.
It was born in the air.
It was born on a fruit that wasn't attached to the ground. The fruit on a tree is on the ground, but a fruit that's detached in a container, as we're going to see in a second, worms are mutter. Delicious. Kedai to try it out. Yeah, no bones. It's very soft. It's geschmack.
Remember the egg was laid inside the fruit and then it's...
Yeah, I don't know where the egg was laid, but the mice, the worm never touched the ground. It never walked on the ground. Never walked on a fruit that was attached to a tree. Nope. You eat it as it is, like in China. You go like this.
It's a question of Evim and Achai. Just eat it. Finish.
We should try it out. We should find a place that has worms that never touch the ground. Why? It never crawled on the ground. You're saying if it crawls in your hand and you're attached to the ground, still you don't let it crawl. You hold it tight. It's not crawling. Then you go, let me show you how it's done.
You eat the apple with the worm inside.
I think we should try it. I don't know. Omer Papa. Yes. By the way, if you guys go to the museum on when is it on Sunday? I don't know. Slivka is very controversial. It's kedai to go maybe, and maybe I'll show you the worm. I don't know. Zog Gemara. Omer Papa Shema min Omer Rav Huna. Hod Omer Shmuel. I sent it on the WhatsApp. He's doing some sort of. I'll show you different birds and animals, grasshoppers. The pictures of grasshoppers. Hod Omer Shmuel kishu shitliya bi'ibe asura. A cucumber that became wormy on the ground is also Nun Chesam Beis Hanet Hamre de Kado. These dates that are inside a container, lebasa tresa yarchishata sharion. We just said that a worm can't survive more than 12 months. Memela, if you find a worm in a can after 12 months, it has to be, it's a brand new batch of worms, and Memela, they're 100% mutter. Omarav, leis boko bar yoima. There's no such thing as a gnat that lives more than a day. I looked it up. It says in Google that they live 7 days. So it's pretty close.
What is that?
Gnats, like a fly. It looks like in between a mosquito and a fly. Small little thing. Yeah, maybe it's a different breed. There's many different breeds. There's no fly that's older than a year. And this is also consistent with what we have today.
Flies live for a year?
This is like it's a mosquito, but
Flies live for a year?
no, the max. They live for 24 days or so. I don't know. V'amri says, "Frek the Gemara." Boy said this is unbelievable. V'amri noshri. Inche say the people say this is a saying. Shav shnei imra baksa mi baka. There's 7 years that the female gnat didn't want to be with her husband. The Amrle, she said to him, Chazite lebar mechoiza, you saw this fat, pampered mechoizon guy. Rashi says he was fat in mechoiza. Why mechoiza? Because they're hefty people. The socha b'maya, he was swimming in the water. Usolik, he got out of the water. Vikrach bezdinim, and he wrapped himself in some sort of towel. Mamish geshmaka meat, you saw good blood. Vayisivis alei, and you sat on him. Umatzis mineh, you sucked his blood. V'lo yihodatali. What a chutzpah! So 7 years she didn't want to be with him. Says Rabbi Yankel Galinsky that this is a mashal to us. We live just a few years and we're busy bickering and fighting about shtusim. She wasted. How long does she live? She lives only a day. But people say that for 7 years she lived with her husband and she didn't want to be with her husband. So for the whole day that she lived, she's fighting. How come you didn't tell me about this fat guy? There's other fat people. Why are you fighting about this shtusim? You're only living a day. And what's the Taina? What's the Gemara saying about him? The first Yankiv says about him. What a chutzpah. He's a tiny little gnat. He sees a big fat guy and he wants to hog the big fat guy for himself. He thinks he's going to have. So people have so much money and they're so stingy they don't even give their wives anything. They say, that's for me. What are you doing with it? You're not going to use it in your lifetime. It's a muzar askel. V'lo yidatali. But the bottom line is, the question is, the people say 7 years. They live 7 years.
Yeah, within their day.
Oh, Baruch Shekivanto. Oh, Malay, because we know the concept of dog years. We know these things.
There you go.
Where do we get it from? And according to you, such a big kasha, it says, this gnat, there are these different insects that have very strong bites. They carry along a weight of 60 mana, 60 coins. Their bite, their sting is as heavy as 60 coins. Now, how much does a gnat weigh? It's impossible for a tiny insect the size of a gnat to carry 1 coin, let alone 60 coins. So what's going on? How big is his body? It's talking about relative to his size. Gnat money. Like they say, ant is the strongest animal in the world. It could lift 600 times his body weight. In his proportionate to him, exactly. We're talking about its life. It's 7 years of its life. So Lamai said she didn't waste that much time. What? 20 minutes of the day. She lived the whole day. So for 20 minutes she was bickering. It's not only by us, these things.
So it's much more that the mosquito won't tell its friend about something, even though there's plenty for everything.
Even though what?
Even though there's plenty of food, it won't tell another mosquito.
Yeah, and you know there's plenty of food. You didn't tell me about that food. Chutzpah. Lamai said they're looking for things to complain about. That's the bottom line. Not also.
There's also a snide remark against people from the Chuzah that there were 2 bastards.
Yeah, pampering themselves with the water, with the spa, coming out of the spa with this nice towel, wrapping himself up. Yeah.
Internal politics.
Depends on the time of day as well.
Levi, what did you say? Leilu Nishmas Ezra Yisrael Ben Yitzchok Tzvi Halevi Links. Not awesome. Behema Balas Chomesh Raglayim. If you have an animal with 5 feet, you would think 5 feet is gishmak. No, an extra foot is great. What's wrong? It moves better, quicker. Oi she'ein lo elo sholosh. Or an animal Nebuch only has 3 legs. They walk around. You see them all the time walking around. Harei mum. So this is when you get to Bechar, this is considered mum. Ravuna. So what about ours? So this is all 4 leg. If over here she has 5, or over here she's missing 1.
I mean, there's 3.
total 3, but one of these is missing. As we said, that it's not such a big mum in the front. The problem is
For the mizbeach, the mum is not a treifa, right?
mum is for the mizbeach. Yeah, we're talking about, this is a sugya of b'chayris. But if the hind leg is missing, or you have 3 instead of 2, treifa nami havi. Not only is it a mum, but beneged to our sugya, it's also considered a treifa. You cannot shecht it and eat it. My taima kol yeser kenotul dami. We have the concept that anything, any extra, it's as if it's removed. Not it is removed. You remove one more. So if you have 1 extra foot, minus 2. Now instead of having 4 feet, instead of having 5 feet, you have 3 feet. So a 5-footer, 5-legged animal, as we view it halachically as if they have 3 feet. Remember the Sani Devi was the part of the intestines that the wolves hate. They eat everything, but they don't eat this. This is right over here. It's the rectum. It's coming out already. And right beforehand is like these 2 pipes. They actually end over here. You can see in this picture it ends here. They had an extra pair. This animal had an extra pair. Now, according to this svara, that any extra is as if you remove. So this animal had an extra. You got to remove these 2. It's as if it had no Sani Devi. No Sani Devi. It's as if you had a hole in your intestines. Minimally, it's a hole in the intestines. Forget about that. It's a whole piece missing. But even a hole is treif.
That means if there's 2 extras, so it's fine.
Why?
You take away the 2, and then you have. Like, we were talking
What?
If
If you have 6 legs, you have 4 legs according to you?
Yeah.
Whoa. Time out.
Right?
Why?
You said.
No, every extra leg
Every
takes off 1 with it. So then it's a 2-legged animal. 6 is 2-legged. Yeah, 100%.
Story behind that is.
Everyone
What's
takes
the-
off.
The svara would be because the body uses a lot of energy to support the extra leg. The extra intestine is too much. There's too many pipes going through. Too much heart, flow. It's just too much. It's worse than having. It makes sense? It's a good svara? Okay. Chaim likes my svara.
That's like a Formula 1 car with 6 wheels.
What? Imagine a person with 2 heads. My body could hardly handle the 1 head. I'm going to have an extra head here. All these...
We're not talking about you.
Yeah, okay. Says the Gemara, Tartis Sanya David. Aisur Ravina v'tar from the Ravuna. Says Ravina that any extra is as if it's missing. Vishavchala dodi. But if eventually they spill out into each other, they act as one kshera. Then it's not a problem. Okay, so there's a little problem with the plumbing, but the body worked itself out and it's good. Says the Gemara, gufta. There's a pipe in the body. They have a pipe, like a tube, a pipe. They have a nafko mebei kosi. Lilo says Rashi, it's from the hem. Says the basic cases. We said we had the sugis, we had it in the Mishnah that even if there's a hole between 2 and 3, it's kosher. So if there's a pipe, it's not a big deal. There's another way for 2 and 3 to work with each other. Sovar Ravashi limitrufo. He wanted to say that's a problem. Omle Ravuna Amar Bar Bechila Ravashi. Kol hanechevi bar yasa. The wild animals hachi islo. Lemaisa, we see it in other types of animals, so it's not a real problem. You see, if they exist with it, so then domesticated animals, it's also not a problem. Even though we don't see it so much in cows. No. Says the Gemara, Gufta, there was a pipe that have a ma'abrum, a big costly karsa. So now, it went basically from number 2 into number 1 over here. Instead of going from 2 to 3, it skipped 3 and it went into the larger keva. The keres. Says the Gemara, just like we said that if there's a pipe going from 2 to 3, it's okay. So what's the difference? What number it says there? 2 to 1, 2 to 3. It's all the same thing. Pipes for one thing. She says, what are you talking about? What are you gonna weave it all? Everything is woven into one big garment. Ravuna said is halacha from the Beis HaKosis to the Hemseis. Don't start making drushes from one part of the animal to the other part of the animal. The main shoichet and tzipori lefnei Rebbe, he was made al shnei b'nei ma'ayim hayotzim min habehema. If you have 2 intestines coming out from one place, ke'echad shi treifa, u'kenegdem boiv kshera. What's going on here? This was a quick print, so I had to do all the pictures on one. Sorry. But you have here, what's it called again? The cinnamon bun, the canto, the kuri de canto, right? So instead of having one, we have two. So it's a treifa, but the same thing in a bird would be kosher because once in a while you find it in a bird. That's not a problem. Says the Gemara, when they come out in two different places, but you see over here, this is a hand. It's very hard to see. I didn't highlight it, but basically, there's a split in the road, and then the two roads come together. I don't know if you can see it in the middle picture. This is a guy's hand, by the way, and there's a little split, and then they basically become one. One splits to two, and then comes one again. Fork in the road, which eventually they meet up again. Where do they have it over there? By the
Right here they have it. Right
by
here.
the pizza shop over there.
Right here.
What is it called?
Here in Gilo.
Right here.
On Gilo, perfect. Gilo, that's the perfect example. Right there, there's a fork in the road, and for whatever reason, there's a fork there, and it goes right back to
It's
one.
supposed to be
Yes.
originally a two-way street, that's why.
It was.
It was a two-way street.
And it still is a two-way street for a lot of people.
I thought-
Yeah, a lot of people make that, they come out. What?
That's not it.
Yeah. The people that live here, they use it as a two-way street. They're not going to go this 5-minute trip around to Luz. Anyway, Zogni Gemara. Listen to this lashon. At ke'etzba, if they meet up a finger breadths away, kshera. Now, what does that mean? A finger breadths away? They meet up. That they like the fork in the road on Gilo. They don't have to come back together. It makes a lot of sense. One finger breadths away, they meet up again. So what's this finger? Basically, it's like two mufflers. You know, if a car has a muffler. This is where the waste comes out of the body, right over here. If it comes out in two separate holes, it's a mamish treifa. But if they meet up right before it exits the body, and when it exits only one hole, then it's kosher. Where they at least have to have one finger breadths away from the exit of the body. That's all the Gemara is saying. You see the two mufflers there? Givaldik. Zok the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda, we had in the Mishnah that if the down is missing from the chicken, it's pasul. There's another person that says the same thing. Rabbi Yehuda is in the Mishnah that noitza makes it treifa. No noitza is treif. Rabbi Shmuel this nan. Rabbi Shmuel noitza mitzarefes. When we're talking about pigul, you want to be mitzaref food as a kazais. You need a kazais of food. So if a person thought to himself he's going to eat a half a kazais of feathers of down and a half a kazais of steak, they work together. Why? Because you could eat down. He holds it's edible. Maybe there's no comparison between our Mishnah and that case of pigul. We're not talking about food here. We're talking about something that protects the animal from the weather. So that will make it a treifa if it's missing. Like we said yesterday, you could make a coat, you could put it in an incubator. Thank you for that lashon. I used it actually. Maybe when it comes to pigul, he holds it's not food. Like you gave me this look, like what? Who eats feathers? Maybe over there, Rabbi Shmuel holds that it's food, but it will be moida by treifa that you need to have it. Fine. Al-Kol Panim says the Mishnah. Achuzis Adam, if an animal has too much blood in it, v'amushenes, it had smoke inhalation, v'amutzunenes, it had a cold, v'sha'ochla ardufni. So Rashi brings something, and there's something like this. They say, this is, I don't know if it's it's a little poisonous, and it has. The Gemara is going to say that its stem is even worse than its poison. It's very thorny. It's very bad for the animal. V'sha'ochla tzayis tarnagoylim. I didn't make a picture of this. It drank really bad water. Kshera. All these things are kosher. What if it ate poison? Or snake bit it. There's an antidote to it, so it's not a treifa. But you would be very silly to eat that animal because you'd be eating poison. But it's not treifa. Treifa. If it ate chiltis, it's really bad for the animal. The it punctures the lung. What is this? What does it say here?
Esophageal.
No.
Esophageal.
You know what this is?
It's like vinegar. Esophageal. They make vinegar.
I guess the Americans know what this is?
No.
Esophageal.
That's what they eat.
Even one of the English, the younger generation doesn't know.
That's vinegar, no?
They eat this?
Oaktown Spice Shop has a very nice one.
Oaktown Spice Shop, yeah.
Probably
My time, it punctures the intestines. Most of Rav Shezvi. Now, he brings a brayse. It says, Achuz Saddam, like we had in the Mishnah. Vamu Shenes. B'shachlo hadufni, b'shachlo tzois tanagol. B'shachlo my maroim. Mamish like our Mishnah. Hilito, Tio. Chiltis, upilpilin. Ochla samamavas, sheira. It says here that she's kosher even if she eats these things. Hikisha nachash shenoshchol kelev shoita, a rabid dog. Muteres mishum treifa v'asim mishum sekonis nefashis. The bottom line is kasher chiltis achiltis. It says if she eats chiltis, it's kosher. Kasher samamavis is samamavis. Says the Gemara, because it says that it's kosher for you to eat. What's the shaila on samamavis?
Sakonis nefashis.
Oh, did
And the Mishnah says Sakas Nefashis.
Here it says Samavis is kosher.
samamavis like kashio?
It says
And the Mishnah says Sakas Nefashis.
Ochlo sama moves.
Muteris mishum treifa, v'asura mishum sakonis nefashis. Samamavis loy kashio. So what's the kashio? What does it say? What's the kashio in samamavis?
The rice is machshir.
What?
The rice was machshir chiltis.
Right, that's like shira. Muteris and shira. That's the shaila. No, we have to see the
It
kashio.
says if Asura Mishum
no.
And here it says
Let's see the teretz.
Aval Asura Mishum Sukkot.
No, this is the Kishan Achash.
Oh.
1 minute. So let's see because it's getting late. Says the Gemara. The what?
That by some of it doesn't say Asura Mishum Sukkot Nefashis.
That's the problem. Okay.
It just says, oh.
The problem is not the kosher. The problem is that it doesn't say that it's usher for the human to eat. Says the Gemara, Hadida, that's why from the teretz you'll see, like Asher, Hadida, Hadada. When it's talking about a samamavis of a behema, then for you you're allowed to eat it. Oh, like Asher, kan ba'olim, kan b'krotim. By the leaves itself, then it's not such a problem. Kan b'krotim, when it eats the stem, then it causes more issues. Samamavis like Asher, Hadida. If it's only poison for her, then it's not a problem for a person. Hada Adam, when she eats, ingests poison for a person, then a person shouldn't eat it. That's our Mishnah. Samamavis behema, hainu hardufni. Why did it say twice, samamavis and hardufni? They're the same thing. They're both samamavis. Says the Gemara, Trigavni samamavis. There's two types. Somebody explains that one of them is hardufni, has actually a refuah, and then the next step is even something that doesn't have a refuah, you could still, it doesn't make it treifa. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. I don't have a picture. You're right. Ikara de Mirita. It's a shirish of Torah. We're gonna have to get a picture for that. Tonight, whoever wants in base tefillah, sikum in Hebrew. If you guys want the 8-minute daf,
Very recommended.
Chaim really recommends it. There's only 40 new subscribers yesterday. We were looking for more. We're trying to get to 1,000. Did you see it yet? The 8-minute daf? How was it?